Going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be installing a Ghost Box into my daily first gen TSX. It's a great car. It has actually a lot of features for an 04. I actually getting back into this thing. I was quite impressed with how many features this thing actually has. But the one area that's really lacking is the radio and the functionality. I mean, Bluetooth has come such a long way, and it's almost like my sole source of entertainment in the car. So got to get a Ghost Box installed. We're going to do that today. So I'm going to speed this up just so you don't have to sit here and watch me do all this stuff. I'll just make some call outs along the way. So first things first, just disconnect the battery like any good installation. You should always start with that. Safety first, I guess, or just making sure everything's okay. This piece right here, you basically just pry off. Pretty simple. I used a pry tool. Unfortunately, I was struggling with it because I had one hand holding my phone, recording this, and then another hand, obviously trying to do the work. And it's a little bit more. Well, I guess it just ended up being a little tighter than maybe I anticipated. So I do eventually get this off. I do show you how many clips are holding this on in case you own a TSX and you want to put a head unit in, or you just want to remove the radio for whatever reason. There are some videos out there on YouTube that are pretty good. But right here, you can see you got 2 clips. So you basically have a string of 3 clips on the back side and then 2 that hold it closest to the radio. And right behind there is one of the screws that you need to access in order to remove the radio. Over here, just pull this little piece out. Again, it's essentially the same thing as the other side, but just smaller. It is a little tighter. It's right behind the steering wheel. And then once you get that out, there is just one screw behind there as well. You don't have to pull this one completely off. You can actually get to the screw if you just pry it off a little bit. Next, you just pop out the hazard button, and there's one screw behind there. Can't remember where I left off, but just a couple quick notes. If you have an auto, you need to make sure you put your car in gear and pull this thing out first. Okay, so if you have a stick, good for you. I wish I did. You'd obviously be able to move it without any issue, but with an auto, this thing's not going to come out, and there are 2 screws that are in here on either side there. So that's just one quick note. And then prying this thing out, it's kind of a pain. Feels like you're going to break something, especially the dash. It starts creasing a lot, but it is out now. So I'm going to pull this thing out. I'm going to unclip everything, and I'm going to find a spot to hide the Ghost Box, and we should be good to go. Everything is out, everything is unplugged, and here it is, the Ghost Box. This thing is pretty sick. It looks pretty substantial in there. It's definitely a pretty serious unit. Excited to get it installed and see what it sounds like. I'm just excited to get my music back. All right, so here I am. So everything's hooked up. Car's in accessory mode. Everything should be working okay. The fan on this thing is spinning. You can see that. It's findable when I look for it on Bluetooth, but it's not connecting. I can't play anything. It doesn't make the chime noise when I turn the car on. So something's not right with this box. So I'm actually in contact right now with their help team, and hopefully I get it figured out, because it's pretty annoying. I got everything in, everything's installed nice. Like I said, the fan's spinning. You see that there. So this here is the this here's the fan spinning. But there is no connection. Nothing can play. So either this is faulty or something's going on, but I'm waiting for them to reply. Hopefully I get an answer here soon. And yeah, I'll come back with the status update. Ghost Box 1, Civic 2 tag 0. Ghost Box has defeated me. It's official. I tried my best. I did reach out to the company. They were somewhat responsive in the beginning, and then I think they realized that they were talking to an audio amateur. I really don't know much about car audio. So once they started talking about bypassing my stock amplifier in the TSX, I basically mentally checked out, and I was like, okay, that's way above my pay grade. Not really that interested in getting the Bluetooth set up. I have since found a solution. I have a $20 piece from Target. It's pretty crazy that a $20, Bluetooth over the FM radio unit from Target essentially can do the same thing. Well, in theory. I mean, I do believe that with an actual head unit piece, such as the Ghost Box, something that's actually replacing the head unit, it's hardwired into the system. I do think the audio quality and just the overall sound would be much superior on the Ghost Box, but still, I think the functionality of the Target one is just fine for what I'm looking for. It may not sound as great, and you may get static every once in a while if there's some interference with a local station. But I think for the most part, it'll get the job done, and it'll save me some expensive installation fees. So thanks again for the help from JDI. Big shout out to them. Thank you. See you again soon.